from the Sun. You mentioned Pep earlier. Have you spoken to him at all since you took the job, and do you plan to speak to him much going forward?
Yeah, I spoke with Pep a lot since he decided to leave the club. I was with him a week ago. We spent some hours together. But the relation with Pep, since I was with under 23, always has been quite close.
Do you expect to sort of speak to him much, week to week, or do you want to leave him alone to enjoy his retirement?
No, he needs to enjoy. He needs to enjoy his moment, and I also need to do my job and to find a solution for myself. But after 10 years playing every 3 days, it's quite demanding, and so I think now he deserves a relax.
Hi Enzo, Jeremy Cross, Daily Mirror. Does it feel quite daunting having to follow in the footsteps of Pep Guardiola?
Yeah, but again, depends in which way you take. For me, it's a privilege because again, I consider some of you, all of you, consider Pep probably the best coach, the best manager in the last 20 years. So for me, it's a privilege. As I said, it's also a challenge because we saw that after this kind of manager, always the club struggle. I know that, I'm aware of it, but at the same time, I'm quite relaxed that I'm sure that we can do a great job.
And what would success be to you next season?
Listen, I think with this kind of club, you need to win titles. But if you just focus on the final target, I think you miss all the previous part. So I'm a manager that I love the day by day. I love to do my job. I love to prepare session, to spend time with the players, and then at the end, for sure, the target is to win titles with this club.
Enzo, James Ducker from the Daily Telegraph. Enzo, just following on from a few points about following the dynasties. Obviously, we've seen the challenges that United have had down the road, and obviously at Arsenal it took time. Do you think the difference here is that when you look at what Guardiola and the club have sort of bequeathed, the infrastructure, the squad, the setup with the director of football, the chairman, the way the club's run, that it's a bit different than following United following before? Do you think you're more set up for success maybe than some of those other clubs might have been?
I don't think so, because probably at that time, after I don't remember exactly how many years with Sir Alex, I think the club was in place. Yeah. So I don't think so that now we have a different structure compared to Man United or compared to Arsenal with Arsene.
No.
Yeah.
And some people would say that the job after following such a hugely successful manager might be a bit easier. Does the challenge?
It's easy or complicated? I don't understand.
Does the challenge though? I mean, you have to be a certain type to sort of take on that challenge. Do you actually relish it? Does it really excite you, the idea of trying to take on what Pep's done and putting your own spin on it?
No, first of all, for me, it's important to make it clear that I'm here to do what I want, my job, in the way I want. I'm not here to try to copy someone, or I'm just here to try to do my job, to install my football, my idea, the way I see the football. And then if it's more easy or more difficult, I don't know. I think it's a nice challenge. It's a privilege for me here. I feel very happy to be here with you, so nothing more.
Hi Enzo, Kit Shepherd from The Times. Can you just expand on what you were saying just at the end there? You will obviously keep a lot of the things the same as they were when Pep was in charge, but what specifically might you do differently to Pep to sort of put your own stamp on this Man City team?
Every manager is different. Every manager, there can be some similar concept, but at the end, every manager is different. The way we approach the day by day, with the way we approach the games. So we see in which way we need to tweak some concept, but I don't think there are managers that they just copy and paste another manager. It's difficult because I can copy and paste, but I don't see the football in the same way than the other manager. So that's why I don't believe in copy and paste.
And Manchester City, obviously under Pep, set very, very high standards and maybe dipped ever so slightly last season, not winning the league. Just in your opinion, kind of why was there that slight dip last season, and how can you sort of address that to get back to winning the titles?
When you are not inside the change room, or you are not spending the day by day with the players, it's very complicated. It's very difficult to understand the reason why something is not going to happen or is not happen. So I don't know. Since 2 months ago, 3 months ago, when there was a real connection with the club, I started to watch all last season games. But again, to have a clear idea, you need to spend the day by day with the players and to understand why something is not going to happen.
Thank you.
Hi Enzo, Jamie Jackson from The Guardian. The club is still facing these charges of financial wrongdoings, over 100 charges, I believe. What assurances have the club given you that, all they can be fine with these?
No, the only thing I can say is that 3 years ago, the treble season, I was here and was the same words about this kind of problem. In 3 years, it's still the same. So nothing happened. I don't have anything to say because it's something that is there. But again, the only thing I can say that the way the organization is working is show how serious they are, how good they are, bringing titles and more things.
They obviously deny all wrongdoing, and you don't have any concerns personally.
No, to be honest.
And just with regard to picking up another point, if City don't win the title this season,
again,
if City do not win the Premier League title this season under you, is that a failure?
At the moment, I'm mere knowing that this is a club that needs to win title. As I said before, fortunately, the 2 previous clubs I joined, Leicester and Chelsea, we delivered titles in both clubs. And I'm joining this club thinking that we need to win titles. But again, I'm not thinking in May or June. I'm thinking now in tomorrow with 20 young players, how we can improve them. And then we see it day by day.
Hi Enzo, Simon Bajkowski from the Manchester Evening News. You've obviously lost Bernardo Silva as club captain. Have you thought about who will replace him?
Not yet. We have, in this moment, I think 3 players with Ruben, Rodri and Erling. Probably we need some more because Bernardo left, but we will decide about that.
And there's obviously a lot of players who are still away, having been at the World Cup. Have you spoken to them since you took over? Are you kind of leaving them to the holidays and speak to them?
I spoke with the ones that they contact me, and the only 2 players I contact has been Jeremy Doku because he has been that when he was in the World Cup, and the other one has been Phil when he was left out from the squad, just to have a chat with him. Then the rest, I spoke with some of them that they called me.
Nice. Dom. Hi Enzo, Dom Farrell, Sporting News. Just picking up on that with Phil. How was he after being left out of the England squad? And obviously you know Phil really well from the years here together. What are your expectations for Phil this season?
I just want to help Phil to be the Phil that we all know, but especially the Phil that we all want. First of all, for him, because he needs to enjoy football and in general. Second, because I know how good this Phil. So with Phil in a good shape, in a good mood, we can win games. Again, the season of the treble was fantastic. In the season after, I think he won Premier League player. So now it struggled a little bit, but I told him that it's my duty to try to help him and to have him back in the way we all want. He's from the house, he's from here. So I think it's a nice feeling for me, to try to help Phil, but also I think Phil is one of the he's a fan of the club, so it's nice for him to be back.
And you mentioned Jack Grealish, and you stayed in contact with him as a friend of yours. Jack's obviously had a difficult couple of years. Why do you think Jack struggled, and what's he got to do to get back to that treble, Jack?
Again, when you don't work the day by day with the players, it's difficult to judge. So I don't know. I don't know what he has done. So it's complicated.
Thank you, everyone. We'll leave it there. We'll do the photo opportunity now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. We'll get the shirt.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Thank you.
See you soon.
Thank you. Thank you.